What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got my brother, Sergeant Derek Salinas. Staff Sergeant, I'm sorry, Staff Sergeant Derek Salinas. What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Juan?
Doing good, man. Hey, appreciate you for coming to the channel, man. I know we had discussed some things off the channel you wanted to bring over so we can share this information with the people. What we got going
hmm
on today, man? What we talking about today?
First, I'd like to talk about one of my friends. Unfortunately, he passed away of cancer Tuesday night. Um, it sucks. Matt France. He was my roommate in Iraq during my first deployment from 2006, 2007. Uh, I just want to make sure that he's never really forgotten. And so this is a good time to say that. I'm going to miss him. He was a great brother of mine. He kept me sane on the 15-month deployment. He he was just he was a ball of joy and fun, especially when he'd piss him off because he'd be a little uh, kind of stupid and he'd let his temper get the better of him, and then everybody would laugh, to include him, once he realized he's like, all right, whatever. So I just want to say I miss him, and I hope that his daughter continues to do well. So
Hey,
I
bro,
wanted to at least say that.
one of the things that I tell people, the person is gonna continue living in your memories as long as you keep them alive. It's better to celebrate their life than go back to this painful moment. I know we had talked about him before. We were trying to get him set up with the BA for the benefits for his daughter a couple of weeks ago. Um, but hey, man, one of the things, especially cancer. Cancer hits hard. My mom had cancer. My dad had cancer. My aunt, she went through chemo, and she's going back again. She's doing chemo again. Yeah, that's been close in my family. But one of the things that I can tell you is that they're not in pain no more. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that he's resting right now. I know when we talk, it's stage 4 cancer what he had, so that's not really much. Not coming back from that one, and it's hard. I got one close close friend that his wife been in pain for the past 3 years, and sometimes she wishes it was over, but she's still there, man. And one of the painful things is that she she's still working because if she loses her benefits, she's not gonna be able to go through treatment. So that's even painful, bro. Like we have these conversations with him one night, and from time to time, and yeah, I don't know why, man. Cancer is. You think by now we should have a cure? We should have something to help. Uh, Again, he goes with chemo, he goes with radiation, but it's always the chance that it'll coming back. So
Well,
the only
he had been fighting it for like 4 years, that I know of,
yeah
and I'd like to say this much is they were projecting that he was supposed to die a few weeks ago, and he got an extra month, and that just shows how much of a fighter he was and still is.
yeah
And to the other veteran community, I'd like to also remind you all, y'all are service members, get yourself checked periodically for your health care, because we are exposed to a lot of things
yeah
that are dangerous to us. I mean, that's why the burn pit registry is out there now. Exposures to radiation, any number of things. So please go get your health checked out to make sure that you're okay, especially if we can get it before it gets serious for other individuals.
yeah yeah, man. But who's gonna be taking care of? I know his wife passed away, and now he's just the daughter.
It's gonna be his aunt and uncle.
Okay.
Um, and it was kind of a bittersweet that while he was towards the end, I was shooting him a text message like I was trying to do every couple of days to say, hey, love you, brother, things of this nature. But he was already kind of out there on the medication, and his aunt answered the phone for him and to me. And I found out she was also the one who gave me my little blanket that I still have to this day. She used to make them, and so I have it over there in my barracks at the where I'm at over there in Eagle Pass. But it was at least bittersweet to be able to say thank you very much to her, because she was the one who made that blanket, and I've had it now for 19 years.
Damn.
It goes with me to every deployment I go to. So at least with all this bad happening, I did get to at least thank his aunt, which was the one who, like I said, made that. So that was a bittersweet moment. So, I mean.
So what year was you deployed with him? The picture that we put up.
October 2006 through December 2007, we were deployed. That was probably taken, I don't know, roughly June-ish or July. I could be wrong. As you know, in any other deployment, all the days blend in together. So
Where was that at? That's when you were in Iraq or Afghanistan?
Yeah, that was in Iraq. That was in Mosul. And like I said, when it came to Matt, it was just it was always funny. I think what it was there, I mean, I know I was the one who took the photo. It was either us getting ready for a mission, or we had just got off of mission. I don't remember. Or it might have been one of those few days that a mission had gotten canceled, and we're like, yeah. But we used to joke around. We used to call him the Hobbit because he was short. And Lord of the movies were still out. And then, of course, he had hairy feet. So it stuck with it. Yeah, no, man, it was a great person.
Was he also infantryman?
Oh, yeah. No, he was infantry.
Okay. Yeah. Nah, that's good, bro. Man, any funny memories from deployment that you have?
I mean, I have a lot of them. Some I'm going to keep with me, but let's go with a few of the funny ones. In December, it snowed in Iraq, which was something I was not used to the idea of thinking. So I opened one morning, and he's a heavy sleeper. And so I just opened the door, and northern Iraq, it's kind of up higher in elevation as well, so it's a little easier to snow. So I open up the door because I'm getting ready to go, shave and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, shit, it's snowing. And so he's from California, so he doesn't see much of that. And he just wakes up because he heard me saying snow. He's like, snow, and just, and then just jumps out of his bunk, like from a dead sleep, goes out, and he's like, oh my God, it's snowing. This is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's one of those little memories that's, that I can share with, everybody on here, that it's just, it made me laugh. There's some other ones I'll talk to you in private in regards to. It's not something I'm going to share here, but I'll definitely share them with you later. And then, we used to barbecue, and we just have a good time. I'd like make chilaquiles and salsa and all that stuff. We were very, very tight knit platoon before everybody, left to go to their next duty stations or next units to be assigned to. But it's like you said, though, they're never dead if you remember them and acknowledge them. And like I said, Matt was he was a beautiful person. He kept me from doing some really stupid shit on a deployment, so I can't ever, fault him on that. He was my roommate, and he was honestly, like I said, legitimately a good friend, and it's sad there, but everybody who knew him, as much as we're sad, we're also celebrating his life. Another funny memory that I have was, again, like I said, he'd get stupid when he gets angry, and he let us probably get the better of him, just like any other infantryman. And one time we were, it was like, I know geography, I know it so well, and we had a map. I don't know why we had a global map by our barracks. He's like, I know this, and he's like, y'all are fucking stupid. Italy's right here, and he points to Germany or France, something like that. And then we all just laugh because we know, and he even knows. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he loses his, and we all just bust his chops. We're like, "I thought you said you knew where France or you knew where Italy is." He's like, "Shut up." And then the other memory, and this is so I'd only known him for about a month and a half at this point. And then in the bazaars and stuff like that they sell on base, well, they were selling these little heritage swords
Oh yeah.
of the name and then the emblem and then the history of the name. And of course, Matt is like, I want to find out the history of my name. I'm like, it means you're from France. And this is what I tell him. And he's like, I'm not fucking French. Fuck them. I'm not French. I'm not one of those little. And he just went off on tangent. I'm like, bro, you understand that your name means you're from France. And he's like, I am not from France. I am not French. Sure as shit, like a month or two later, when he gets his sword and the history of it and the name, the coat of arms, what does it say? A person from France. And I just, of course, I bust his ass because he's like, shut up, Salinas, because he was a specialist. I was a private still, and I'm like, I fucking told you, dude. And he's like, okay, you were right. We're never gonna talk about this again, but it's really cool. I still got a really awesome sword, and I'm like, yeah, and you're from France.
So how long y'all were together?
We lived in the same room for almost like 2 years.
Damn.
That's like about 15 months in the deployment, living together in the same room, and then another about 7 months when we got back. It was me and one of the other dudes, and brings up another funny thing about I remember is our barracks. Whenever you had staff duty, you're always miserable and you'd go to sleep the next day.
Yeah.
So what we would do, and since it was we had a common area and there was 3 separate rooms. So we would beat on each other's doors when we'd give them about like whoever is when they got off shift, we give them about 20, 30 minutes, just enough time to hit
really
that sleep
go
zone,
like that.
and then bam, like just
assholes.
brutally beat on the door. I mean, he did it too, and it was like I said, for us, it was just a game that we would do to each other.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Staff duty and CQ, I hated them. Hated them,
We all
especially
hated
on the
them.
weekends. Especially when you're on the weekends. Friday night was the worst. Especially in CQ, taking care of the barracks. Oh my god, bro. Hated them.
Yes.
And then you get off Saturday. I get off Saturday morning, and then I have my kids. And mind you, they still little. They want to play and watch cartoons all day. After you up for 36 hours, beautiful moments.
Yeah.
So he was
Those are.
so
Go ahead.
he was a specialist and you were a private. Did he fuck with you a lot?
Oh, what do you think? Infantry? Of course. I mean,
What is some of the dumbest shit that he made you do? And don't fucking lie, motherfuckers. I know he made you do some dumb shit.
I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be real simple. First, every detail, because I was the only PSC on the in our platoon.
Oh shit.
And it wasn't just him; it was everybody. They're like, That's you.
And got the
I
E4 Mafia on your ass.
and then eventually I made it E4 as well. But the point is, yes, everybody was. Uh, then that would be it. He would pick the details. He'd help and everybody else. Um, I mean, he was a really good dude. I love him. I still do. He always made me laugh, and whether it was him doing something stupid, whether it was me doing something stupid, um, or all of us specialists hiding the stuff that we were doing
That
to
doesn't
cover our own
happen. I
ass.
don't know what you're talking about.
I know E4 Mafia
Yeah,
at its best.
yeah.
Eventually, like I said, eventually I made it to the E4 Mafia as well. And he was one of the ones I think I told you on that last time we did this was when I got promoted to PFC, where they all beat me up and tore off my uniform, and I had to go to different places. He was one of the ones holding me down. Like he was built, he was short, but he was solid muscle. So he's like holding me down. um, yeah, dude, like that's my brother, and
Yeah.
I know a lot from our platoon. We're still sad and hurting. Um, Unfortunately, like I said, the cancer was also a way for us also to kind of reconnect and
Yeah.
reconnect with other people in our company even. So that we'll call it the good in it. But I know a lot of us are still in pain right now, and we're all talking about it. Some of them got to see him before he passed, so that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Well, you maybe I don't know right. Well, people don't know right now, but you still in active duty orders right now, right? Are you counted as active
State
duty right now?
state active duty. It's
State
slightly
active
different.
duty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's one. They're gonna give you time to go. You going
I'll
to
talk to you
do?
about that one offline. We'll
Yeah.
talk offline on that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Now.
so those are the things I wanted to share about Matt because he was a special person, and I don't want him to ever be forgotten. So thank you for at least giving me this opportunity to derail the
No, no, that's
conversation a
good.
little bit. Talk
No,
about him.
but I'm glad. I'm glad we got the picture. I wish I was more prepared and do a little bit more in the background. But man, like I say, it's always hard to lose somebody that we serve with, especially somebody that close. Um, you know,
And he was 38, man. He's our
38 years
age.
old. Damn, more age. Or age, my motherfucker, you old. How old are you? You're not no
I'm
fucking
38.
38. Shut the
I'm
fuck up.
38. I'll be 39 this year.
Shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
No, you fucking lying, motherfucker.
I'm not. I'm 38 right now. I'll be
For
39
real?
in April. Yep.
God damn! I thought you why did I always thought that you were older than me?
Because I
Well,
am older than you.
one fucking year, but like fucking like 10 years old, motherfucker. Like that motherfucker
Well,
like
okay.
45, pushing 50.
All right. Well, I can answer that and make you feel a little bit better. Some of us have stayed in the military into some capacity, and it's aging us quicker. Remember, every year in the military ages your body.
Hey man, you look old as fuck. I'm glad you cut your hair though. I'm glad you fucking cut your hair
Yeah.
because you look fucking old as fuck with that hair that you had last time. Yeah,
Well, like I said,
this brings you
once
fucking
in a
a
while.
little bit younger. Makes you a little bit younger.
And right now, I also have a little bit of facial hair because I have the last couple of days off, so I got to shave tomorrow morning.
Uh
Get
uh
back in
uh.
uniform.
Fucking Staff Sergeant fucking up over here.
Right.
Hey man,
Um,
every day, look, every day. Plus, I cannot grow shit, so
well,
I'm
I
good.
mean, I was about to say you can't grow anything, so
I
you'll
know
be
for
fine.
yeah, plus I can grow shit, so we good. No man, but hey, it is good. I really thought you were fucking older for real, for some reason. I know
It's
your
because some
brother.
of us are mature.
I know. Fuck you. Hey man, I'm mature sometimes. I know your
Actually,
brother.
my brother knew him.
Your brother knew him.
Yeah, so I passed on the bad news to him as well.
Your brother, he's I know he's way fucking younger than us. No,
3 years
how
younger
old is
than
that
us.
fool? 3 young in 3 years.
So he should be
Sergeant
about
first,
35.
Sergeant first
Starting
class
first class.
Salinas. You better fucking send Pereira when you fucking mention his name, motherfucker. I'm gonna give him a call and tell him
Hmm.
you talking shit.
He can hear it. I've got no problem.
Oh man, no, but yeah, hey, your brother learned how to milk the system. Is salute to him.
Yeah.
Fucking, we fucking up. We fucked up.
I don't know. I feel like I
Huh?
got a pretty good deal with what I'm doing in the military, so I can't really complain.
Man, I thought you were
Which
gonna.
also kind of brings. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I thought you were gonna be out already, but shit, 1 more year, right? You extended
No. I had a mental break. I ended up extending for 2 more. So my 20
for
year
two
mark
more.
is going
You
to
fucking idiot. Why would
be
you do
okay. In
that,
all
bro?
fairness, hang on. I can explain it. So first and foremost, my 20-year mark will be October 28th, 2025. So at the 20-year mark, I could still retire early, but I extended for some more time. One of the good things about state active duty in the National Guard is the pay is pretty good right now, at least here in Texas for us. And it's also allowing me to help pay for my wife's college right now. So I was like, if I can stay on these orders while my wife is finishing school, I can help pay for it, and we don't even have to worry about anything because my wife won't have any debt coming out of it. So that's the reason why I've extended. However, if whatever reason, like any other sets of orders, if they end earlier or whatever, then I'll just see ya, put in my retirement, and drop out at 20 or 21 or whatever it'll be. But uh, it wasn't a decision I just made lightly. It was also
Yeah,
discussion
yeah.
with my wife. Um, so a lot of my friends and I were all joking around about it. They're like, "You're supposed to be getting out. What the hell are you doing? You
I
were you
know
were you were
we had
extending."
talked about this.
Yeah, but right now, the financial opportunity to help progress my family and take care of them is enough, as much as we all get bitter and hateful in the military from time to time. It's still a good institution, and I'm still grateful for every opportunity I've ever had. So, you know, a
Are
little bit of
you?
time away from.
So you're not under Army right now, right? You under Air Force?
So I work. The program I work with is under the Air National Guard, but it's also got Army leadership in it as well.
Okay.
The command team right now is
So it's a
Air
combined.
Force.
It's like a combined
Yeah,
mission. Okay.
but it's all under the state active duty, which is the same thing that which we're doing on the border, uh, and all these other border missions or any other state active duty, whether we're talking about when a natural disaster hits, things of this nature.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things you and I were talking about earlier about a bill that has kind of come up that I was like, I found interesting. It's not about being political, but it does have some implications for service members in the National Guard and also in the State Guard as well, which is another subcomponent of the Texas Military Department. But we were kind of talking about it, and it explained it essentially is while we're on SAT orders, the pay is pretty good. However, it doesn't count for retirement points. It doesn't count for VA disability, things of this nature. And the bill that we were talking about, the one that I saw, it was a topic that we kind of brought up. HB 572 is talking about adding state active duty time to count towards retirement from the state pension system, which is ERS. So if, say, we have a bunch right now, because we do have a bunch of young soldiers that have been on the border for like 3, 4, 5 years, never went active duty in a conventional sense, but they've been on Operation Lone Star for the last 4 years. If this bill were to pass, it would give these soldiers the opportunity to buy into the state pension. So if they became part of the Department of Transportation or DPS or any other state job, they could buy that state time back, which would help them for their retirement. So it's not like they're just working here for just pay. So I think it's an interesting bill. I think it's a good bill under the state side. And like I said, this is a state specific bill, and it's only for, right now that's in discussion for this session. Not sure if it's going to pass or not, but I think it's a good bill. So it also, like I said, I'm a little biased because I've been on SAT orders for like the last year.
Yeah.
But it's, like I said, it's a good bill because it gives you these young service members opportunities for the outside as well, so that they're not wasting their time in the sense other than making just a little bit of cash. So
Yeah,
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 it's a
yeah,
bill.
yeah.
Like I said, I like it. I've been
So
telling
you,
all my peers about it.
so just to recap, this is just a Texas state bill that if it passes, it's gonna count Thursday if you go work for the state or any state entity for retirement. Is that right?
Yes, for their state
Yeah.
time. So currently, when
Yeah.
you get out, let's say you won when you got out, and if you went to work for the state, you could buy back your 5 years of active federal time. This is going to do the same thing for these young service members working in the state side if they're on state orders, which is state active duty, or as we all like to call it, SAD. So for these young service members that are on SAD orders, the state active duty, they can also still possibly transfer buy their pension time back in the same way. That's if it gets approved. Like I said, to me, hopefully it does, because I think it'd be a great opportunity for all these service members. So yeah, that's the
You
bill. It's
you mentioned that
HB.
this you
Go
mentioned
ahead.
that this is gonna help people that been on Operation Lone Star. That's what you say.
Yeah, so that's
What
that's
is
the big
Operation Lone
state
Star?
mission in Texas. Operation Lone Star is the governor's task force that he activated a few years back in response to the what he had identified as the border crisis.
Hmm.
So that is the big one. So we have a bunch of National Guard service members in the state of Texas working alongside of the border and operating in those kind of capacities. So that's how this bill would, like I said, possibly be a beneficial part. And then also those that are um, state active duty and that are state guard, they'd be eligible too. I think if I the way I'm reading that bill correctly, if they were also on SAT orders. So it's one of those things that, hey, that's kind of how it works. I can't speak. I'm not speaking for big army or National Guard. I'm just saying that's kind of how that program works.
And that's good. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I really, I don't know nothing about nothing. So whenever you told me about this bill, like sometimes, let's be honest, not many of us pay attention to the bills or what the bills contain. A lot of bills, they put something good on top and they use high shit underneath. And is not many people take the time like you to go over these bills and actually fucking learn about them. So I think that's something that everybody needs to get
Which
better.
I agree. And um, so I got when I got out of the army, I got my degree in American government and political science. So I'm a firm believer that yeah, we need to be participating in the system and learning about it, because at the end of the day, um, either one, you're paying taxes to the government in some capacity. Two, there's laws that are regulating what you can and can't do, things of this nature. So I mean, any person should be paying attention to what's going on with the government. Like for me right now, as somebody that served, I pay attention to what's going on globally and domestically, because those are things that can happen and cause service members to be activated for different things. Like when January 6th happened, the state of Texas sent people actually from all the states. I was also one of the ones who got sent over there. So, local news when COVID kicked off, when everybody didn't know what it was and were very concerned about it, again, activated for that. When hurricanes and floods have happened in the state, we've been activated in response. So domestically, there's that. And then globally speaking, because both I was on active duty prior to this and then in the Guard, we've been deployed into other combat zones. So it's always beneficial to pay attention to the news and kind of what's going on in there. but also legislation, whether you're talking about the state or the federal government, is also still important because we're talking about veteran benefits. You're talking about appropriation bills for the government, which also includes for the military. So those are things that are beneficial. Like whenever we're having these issues with the debt ceiling, I'll talk about a time that it was relevant to us there, which was in 2012 when Senator Ted Cruz filibustered. It shut down the government for a few days to a week. I don't remember, but it changed my drill dates because of it was scheduled for this, but now that the government had been shut down, because we still use the federal facilities primarily for training, and as you're also talking about funding, which is also federally funded as well. So then we had to change those drill dates, and then whenever soldiers are deployed in combat zones, it's sometimes it'll affect them, especially Coast Guard, because the Coast Guard does not, even though that they're not technically in the military, but they are technically in the military. They're part of Department of Homeland Security, but they fall under the Department of Defense when they're deployed into combat zones. But I've also known them when government shutdown has happened, they're like, you're not going to get paid right now. So stuff like this does happen, and that's why I'm saying, like, legitimately speaking, these are why we need to pay attention to those things. But I think any other bill that affects the military or affects service members or veterans, these are things that we need to pay attention to. I know this isn't, like I said, your cup of tea per se, but it is in the
No,
sense that you
but it is.
got the
Well,
connection.
after yeah, but after talking to you, it does make sense. Especially people like you that still in, reserves, active guard, inactive guard. You know, if it's something that is gonna affect you, or it's pretty much affecting everybody, they should go in and pay attention to what it is. But like for someone like me that really don't follow the bills that are going through, where can we find this information at?
Actually, so one, I sent it to you in the chat. So if you want to put it in with the link at the end. Um, so there's two things. I sent you both the bill, the connection to that,
Hold on.
but the TLL, which is the capital.texas.gov. So we're actually starting our legislative session in Texas. So we do it once every 2 years for 140 days with possible extensions for additional sessions if the governor's not happy that something didn't pass or things of this nature. So right now, this bill is legitimately in the process of just beginning. But those are the two links. So if you're wanting to look, you can look this up. It'll give you the information. If you want to know who your representative is, you can type in the address where it says who represents me, and it gives it to you both from the state and the federal. If you're looking for a word or phrase, legislative session currently, you can put if you know the bill number, you can type in the bill number. If you don't know the bill number, if you're looking for a word or a phrase, you could type in veteran. You can type in, military, things of this nature. And then these components will let you help find you these things. And then it's also just understanding how the Texas government is established. So like you have the Speaker of the House, just like you have the Speaker in the U.S. Congress and the House of Representatives, which is the most powerful person in the state Senate or state rep. Then you have the Lieutenant Governor, which is also an elected position, but he represents the president of the state Senate. And then you also have the governor, and then who also has a big contributing factor because, of course, if he doesn't sign it into law, it doesn't become law. And so there's like a lot of these things that are interconnected. Are you able to find the link yet?
Yeah. I'm man, bro. It's not really. I'm new to Zoom, so I'm trying to figure out how the
Yeah.
fuck to get him. But he's solo at the bottom. Yeah, I got him, man. Let me open him up and see if we can do a share screen on him.
Yep.
89. Okay, yeah, I got it. Capital. Oh, you know what? What I'm gonna do? Instead of trying to figure out this, I got the links. I'm looking at them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna post these links on the description at the bottom of the video. Yeah,
Yep.
you did. You sent me two of them. Okay, Texas
One's the
House.
first one.
Texas
Oh, go
House
ahead.
Bill 572. That's the bill that we're
That,
talking about right now.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the bill that we're talking about. So if you're interested in that bill and it benefits you, or you support service members or those that are in this, like I said, this is only going to be focused in the National Guard because it's adding an extension for those people that are on SAT orders. And if you wanted to support the bill, I talk to your state rep, talk to the governor's office, talk to the lieutenant governor's office, and then talk to your state senators. Those are all the people that are going to have an impact within this bill. And if this is something, like I said, you believe in, or even any other bill in the future, if there's something that's relevant to you, you want to get a hold of their office. It may not be talking to the legislator themselves or the governor specifically, but you can be talking to their staff. Their staff will push out the information to the state reps or state senator or the governor, lieutenant governor, things of this nature. But these are your opportunities, and if these are things that are benefiting you or you feel it's important, then pay attention to that stuff and speak
Yeah.
up. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to have more say than you. Most people don't know who their state reps are. They don't know who their state senators are. 9 times out of 10, they don't even know who their U.S. congressman is. But
And you're not even lying. Yep, that is true. That
but
is
it's
true.
something it's something beneficial. And then understanding the legislative process, I truly do believe whether you're talking about the federal government, state government, is important because it's also, if I'm trying to get a veteran bill passed, uh, yeah, it might be good to talk to the random or state rep in my district, but if he's not on the committee for veteran affairs, yes, he'd be a good person to still go to, but I'd also want to, you know, try to target the audience towards those individuals as well when you're trying to pass that kind of legislation, if you're trying to lobby in behalf of these things. So, like I said, I think it's one of those things that we all need to pay a little more attention to. Um, and like I said, I know that a lot of people find this stuff boring. And then even if a bill passes and it works, there's always going to be hiccups and issues and things of this nature because any process of public policy, the implementation as it's happening has unintended consequences, good or bad. And it's just those things that we as the American people have to realize. It's like, okay, let's learn about this. Let's take the time to be a little patient because, hiccups are going to happen with whatever policy happens. Sometimes it'll implement with no issues, but sometimes it will if you're doing something radically new or different. So, like, even for the bill that we were talking about earlier, let me go to it real quickly. I'm not seeing any subsections focusing on when this would be, if it would be retroactive or starting time now. So that's one of those things that could have an unintended consequence. Yes, so everybody's past time may not count, or it may, just depending on how it's established. But it looks like you would be able to count your past time. But sometimes there may be a begin date or an end date. So it may or may not be able to be for service members to apply for. So that's
And,
why these are the little things you want to pay attention to.
and you know what's crazy though? We had I went to a Christmas party for the U.S. back to Houston, and I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to one of the representatives from the BFW, and he was man, I don't want to lie to you. I know he was one of the senior guys on the BFW on his post, and we were talking about specifically about this, that the BFW have they have a team that actually go over bills, trying to help create bills to help veterans. And they said that the reason why they need more veterans to join the BFW, American Legions, organizations like that is because not many veterans are applying themselves to trying to push these bills through Congress. So they got a specific people to go to Congress and trying to learn about these bills, trying to push these bills and help veterans that are coming out or people that are in active duty right now. So
So with that being said, I'm just as bad as everybody else. As much as I'm preaching this, I'm going to be trying to get a hold of the VFW, and I'm also going to try to maybe when I can, do some internships for some political officials so that I can also learn better about the process, because I do want to put an interest in this, because either way I'm a veteran, either way I'm a service member, and even when I retire, just like you, the military is still something that's going to always be on your mind, and that's a population that's special to you. Where the less than 1%, let's be, excuse me, we're the minority.
Yeah, no, and I got a like earlier today. I got a call from well, he's representative of my the BMW post, and he's like he been telling me he was preaching about it. Like he's like, hey man, you need to get more involved. You need to go to the meetings every month. Second, I think it's second Friday. Well, it's gonna be a meeting tomorrow for the Houston Chamber of Congress, and he called me like Edgar from Post. Oh my God, bro, what's the Post that I was with the last Post 92, 96, BMW Post 92, 96. And he been on my ass since he found out that I was a business owner. He's like, you need to attend these meetings, man. We need to do this. And like tomorrow, I won't be able to attend the meeting. He's like, well, there's no excuse. We can do a Zoom call. I like, look, bro, I'm short and stuff right now. I think the meeting is from 11 to 2, 11 to 1. I'm not sure. And I was like, look, I gotta open my store at 10 o'clock. My workers don't come in until noon, so I don't got no help until noon. So I won't. And I know he's trying to do the right thing, and he's like, "Look, this is why we need veterans in, so they can see what's going on. They can, have a voice, So yeah, man, I need to start getting more involved. But like anything, life happens. Like you know,
But
and
again, life happens. But I'm also here to make the argument, and like I said, I'm just as guilty about this as anybody else. And let me shout out VFW Post 76, the oldest post in Texas. That's my post. So also a life member of the VFW. But I will say this much: if you don't make time for this, these issues aren't going to get reconciled, which means it's
yeah,
still going to affect you anyways. It's also going to affect other people. So my only counter argument is that, I know there's never enough time in the world,
yeah,
but it kind of goes back to when we had one of our last conversations a couple weeks ago, right after you had the New Year's conversation about it's like, man, I'm an NCO. I know I need to take notes, and I need to have that to-do list. And you know what? What did I tell you? I told you, I was like, this one speaks to me more than anybody, because I'm like, I've been the same way, and I've been letting some stuff drop the ball, and
yeah,
I know better. I know better, and I know how to solve this by just having those priorities.
yeah.
And so
So
we were
right
joking
now,
about it.
yeah, no, and right now what I'm making. This is why I like him calling me, Edgar calling me, because he's trying to push me to do the right thing. And then I got Master Sergeant Infante, my boy David. David is helping me. He got me an appointment for tomorrow at 12:30. I'm trying to change the structure of the business. That way I
Mhm.
can get the veteran own identifier on the business. So we're gonna start the process tomorrow. We've been in business since 2020. I got out the military in 2015, and that's something that I haven't done yet. So
Really?
yes.
That's closing up a part of a market that
So
you're eligible for. I'm just
oh,
saying.
so this is. I know it's messed up, but on Monday it was last week. Yeah, last not this Monday, but last Monday. I was looking at the structure of the company, and I was talking to my mom. I like, look, we need to change the structure of the company. That way I can get the veteran identifier on the business. And, we sit down, had a meeting, and we agreed to it. So we're doing the change on the company, right? And tell me why Tuesday, I got one of my sales reps. She's like, you think we can meet up? And all right, yeah, we can. So we went, we had a meeting, and she's like, well, the reason why I'm want to talk to you is because I know that your wife. We got two companies. One of them is under my parents and I. The other one is my wife. So she's like, I know your wife owns the other company. Is she a small women's what is it? Women's own business under the.
Hmm.
I like nope. She doesn't have the identifier. She's like, what about minority? I like nope. It's like, well, you're a veteran. Are you a veteran own business identifier? Like nope. She's like, well, I really can't talk to you about the contract that we have. I like, what do you mean? It's like we got a big company that is planning on doing a big move, but the requirement is they want any of these three identifiers, and you got all three chances to do them, and I don't got not one. So I
Well, it's time
lost
to
the
get started on
contract.
this.
Yeah, so I lost the contract that well, I didn't lose it because I never had it, but it's like it was like I called David right away. I like, bro, guess what? This is not even funny, but he's like, why now? Like, why now, bro? This I had never called for a meeting on a request like that until that Monday that I talked to him. Tuesday, lost a contract.
So then this brings up another thought. I'm just throwing this out there. Once you get through this process, whether now is this for the nation? What is the status, or is this one specific to Texas?
No, the
Is this national?
status. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying is, regardless, once you complete this, maybe you should have a discussion about the process on military talks, so that this helps out other veterans as well, because this is a really irrelevant thing.
Yeah,
Because
no, and
as
it
I
is.
tonight, as today, I'm talking a little bit about politics. I'm not really talking about from a political party side. I'm talking about it from a policy side.
Yes.
This
Yeah,
what you, this piece is just as relevant.
yeah, I know that is something that I should be preaching right here. And you told me, I know the last conversation we had, you're like, "Oh, don't you say you don't want to do this?" But like, motherfucker, I know what I said. Don't tell me what the fuck I said. I know I'm fucking up. I know I should be sharing this information too, but it's like now I gotta go through the process. That way I can, because I don't know the process. I gotta go with his wife. That's what she does, all the paperwork for everything. And actually, I gotta, like I say, he set me up with a meeting tomorrow at 12:30, and I gotta go through the process. I gotta get the information that way I can pass it on. But for any veteran that is out there, and you own a business, and you don't have a veteran identifier, veteran owned business, you can be losing a lot of contracts just for this. And not just that, but um, you get bumped up to the top of the list whenever you submit any what do they call any bids for a contract because
And
everybody wants to get that.
and to put this out there as well, for you veterans that are parents, your daughters are almost to college age, if I remember right.
Yes, I just got I went in. I was talking to my sister on beard and retired. His kids, both of them are in college, and he's like, "Hey, have you checked the paperwork for your kids?" I like, "Man, it should be good." Nope. I'll call him. He's like, "Look, you need to call this number. Make sure you got all dependents on you." I like, put on my LES. My dependents are there, but they're not tracking my dependents. So I like, man, like he's there, like, look, we're gonna have to send you an application. I just got the application last week. I got it sitting on my desk, and I haven't gone through it yet. But it's on my desk. It's
I
on
will
my
be
to-do
texting you,
list. It's on my to-do
but
list because I need to. They say that for them to get the school benefits, I gotta resubmit everything again. That way they can add them up to my dependent list. So without that, they're not gonna be able to get any benefits. So is
uh,
yeah. So that's a
so
lot of things
veteran
that
benefits.
yes. Was that?
On this kind of a topic, kind of going back to policy. Um, One of my soldiers is looking at getting out right now. Um, I'm not going to say time or any of this other stuff because I don't want to put enough relevant information that he could be identified. But more or less, one of the discussions that he was having was he didn't know that he needed to extend a certain amount of time more in order for him to transfer his GI benefits to his
GI
daughter.
benefits. Yeah.
He did not know that. He
Me
thought,
neither.
I was like, well, I had this time. This is enough time, and I can transfer that benefits. That unfortunately is not how that works. But there is a discussion, both I think in the past with the VFW, American Legion, you know, veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, probably even Wounded Warrior and a bunch of other organizations. I know your thoughts on that, but I'm just saying they all have a lobbying arm, and each of those lobby arms do bring up those kind of discussions. And the reason that this is kind of relevant is he was upset, and one of the things he's not going to extend again because he doesn't want to do that because of his family, and I get it. But he's like, well, why didn't I know this? And I'm like, I'm sorry, somebody kind of let you down in between and didn't give you
I
the
didn't.
information.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I'm like, this is why you need to go talk to your congressman, your state reps, and things of this nature, because these are the kind of bills that need to be in place in order to help protect you and give you more benefits or extend your little resources and things of this nature. And this is why I'm saying this. And that's, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going back to it today, but this is where what I studied in college. And again, I still think it's a very relevant topic. And I
Yeah,
know
because
we need to
whenever
get more active.
yeah, because to me, I thought use like the soldier that you're talking about said like I thought use for me serving, man, that my wife and kids were able to get the benefits from it. And it was not until I talked to Bearden, like I was like, hey man, what the fuck is going on? What do I do? And he's like, okay, well, we gotta look at your time. What I could do this, but if you don't ask questions, you're not gonna know. And that's a question that I didn't ask. When I supposed to, because I was like, man, I should be fine. And like I
But
say, they don't tell you that. Well, they tell you that your family can qualify for benefits, but they don't tell you what's the process for them to
mhm.
get those benefits. And that's not just on us, but it's also on them to bring those, like the requirements. Uh,
But I would also, and this is where I was also kind of going with this, is that there are scholarships out there for service members, whether you're talking about VFW, American Legion, any
yes.
number of other groups, or just scholarships out there. And like I said, because your daughters are college age, my oldest is college age. Um, but there are grants and scholarships out there for service members and their
So,
spouses or
yes.
veterans, which is what you qualify as.
So the good thing about talking to other veterans once we get out the service is Bearden's Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's kids, they're older than mine, right? So his daughter used to start at college this year, and she's using his benefits for the military. But also, she got a couple of grants and scholarships through other organizations. So my daughters, they're like, well, we don't got to worry about that. Dad is going to pay for college. I like, look, man, it's not just that. You only got certain amount of hours that you can use some of my benefits. Everything else is going to be out of pocket depending on what you got to do. And I was like, look, this is what Michael's kid is she's doing. She's using his benefits, but also with all the grants and the scholarship that she got, she's basically getting paid to go to college.
With
And
that
that,
being said, I'm
go
sorry
ahead.
to interrupt real quick. You joined in Texas and you left in Texas.
Yes.
So you also have the Hazelwood Act. Are you aware about how that
Yes.
works?
Yeah, he
Okay,
told
I
me.
just want to make sure.
Well, I didn't know that. He told me, you see, this is what I'm saying. Since he's going through it already, I'm
Hmm.
going through him, but he's in Louisiana, and he's like, look, things might be different in Texas, because he's from Texas, but he's currently living in Louisiana. That was his last duty station, and he's not coming back to Texas until his kids are done with college. So he's like, like, man, look, this is what you got to look into it. But it's always good to have somebody that is going through it to walk you through it, man. And like I say, for him, it was the same thing that you're doing. He been on my ass, like, hey, have you done this? Hey, do you call him? And he will message me. This is the phone number that you gotta call. Have you done it already? I'm like, damn. So he's like nagging, but it's for my benefit. Like it's for me to
Right.
do it. I was like, damn. I'm like, you know what? Let me fucking do it right now. Let me hang up and fucking do it right now. And that's how it happened. Like he was just like bitching at me, like I've been telling you to do this shit, blah blah blah. Like, all right, fuck it, let me get it over with. Boom, and did it.
So another in about lobbying. I know lobbying gets really bad name, but everybody does it. The military has lobbying. They won't be called lobbyists, but essentially they're lobbyists. They're special interest. But one of the the National Guard, one of the big pushes that they did over the last couple of years was to get a better. So you know SGLI, you know the
Yeah.
should you
SG
die, you
Live
get
post
this
nine
money.
11. Yeah.
Right. So with the SGLI, the National Guard, each state is also entitled to their own version of it. They also did some requesting for additional funding. I've used the Texas one, of course. And of course, when I get out of the military, I can still keep that one. I just have to pay out of pocket. But it used to be, I think, $50,000. Not much, but it's still something to help. But now it is, I think, like $300,000. But that is also lobbying that was done by the states, talking to legislators, and also through the states, and also finding out the best deals. And each one of the states have a different version of it, but they all have it. But again, this is where legislation, lobbying, all these little things that we don't actually think of or take serious have benefited service member and personnel. So
Yeah.
to include veterans. And like I said, I know that a lot of service members don't want to be political and things of this nature, but you do participate in the system regardless. So
Yeah.
if there's something that's going to benefit you, or let's be real, since you're out now and I'll be out in the next couple of years, one way or the other, we do still care about that population.
Yeah.
As even with these new kids, we may not always agree, but you know what? They're still serving, raising their right hand. They're still serving in our country. So they still deserve those other benefits. And if they can get it better than us and more opportunities, like let's even use the post 9/11. It used to be that you could only use before that, I fell under the old Montgomery bill. So when you had the old Montgomery bill, it was you had 10 years to use it or you'd lose it.
Oh, I
Then
didn't
we
know that.
changed the post. Yeah. So it was like, then it went to the post 9/11, and it was still the 10 years, but you could switch from the post 9/11 or from the old GI Montgomery bill to the 9/11. But then it was the GI Bill forever, which extended it now forever as long as you're the service member. And then, of course, if you've already had your kids enrolled in the system and things of this nature, which is something I always please press this out there. If you are a service member and you have like 5 to 6 years of service time still on your contract, and you're married or you have kids, give them 1 month of credit, because then they can always have credit. Even if, God forbid, you were to die, you can extend those benefits to them, and then they will have that for them as well. And even if your kid never uses it, and so let's say you have 5 kids, 4 of them never use it, but you gave each of them that month, you can still take it back later and then give the 4th child all the benefits.
Hey, so one of
So
the things I'm glad
yeah,
you brought that up right now. Boom. I'm gonna go back about your friend right now passed, but before he passed, we were talking to the VA about the benefits. One of the things that I don't know if I mentioned here before, um, for my well, what I was always thought that was if something happened to me, my family gets to keep my military, well, not my VA pay after I'm gone. But after talking to the VA representatives, they saying that the only way the family keeps the benefits is if the person dies from any cause listed on the VA documents. If the whatever
service connected.
sir, if he's not service connected, the family members will not be able to receive any benefits from the VA. Thank God, your friend was service connected,
Yeah.
so the benefits they're passing down to his daughter, but since she's underage, his uncle, I believe it is, gonna be collecting the benefits for her until she's of age, right?
I
That was my
assume that
understanding.
that's the process. I
Yeah, I
don't
think that's
know
the
all the
process.
details, but
Yeah.
we did. I confirmed with him that yes, he. Well, first and foremost, unfortunately, this disease was service connected.
Yeah.
Also, he did get with the VA before while this stuff was happening earlier on, so that yes, he made sure that his daughter should have it, and also that's why I also talked to you one a few months back. I was like, hey, let me reach out to you. I'm like, I need you to talk to me now. And we were talking about it because my head wasn't in the best game when you
Yeah.
finding out what's going on with your friend. And I was also talking with one of my other friends that lives in another part of California, but close to him. And so he was checking in as well because, they both lived in California. So they'd hang out a few times a year, things of this nature. And so we were all making sure that he was being
Everything was
taken care
connected.
of. And then not just
Yeah.
that, but that his child was going to be taken care of because he's our brother. Nobody gives a shit about anything else other than making sure that this young man and his daughter are going to be taken care of one way or the other.
And let me tell you, one of the things that I was not expecting from this channel is getting the, what can I say, connections. Is that the word that I'm looking for?
Yeah,
The
networking
connections,
and connections.
networking. Yeah, I didn't think that networking for this channel was gonna be that good. I never thought that I would grow. Probably we're not growing the channel yet, but we're growing outside the channel with by networking with other organizations, and we were able to connect within minutes to
Yeah,
to get his information and get everything taken care of. But man, that's one of the things that this channel is here for. I don't know all the answers, but now I've been blessed to get different people on my network, and if I don't know you, I can point you to the right direction. I can get whatever information you need, and hopefully I can grow more, man. And like right now, bring this information, pass it on to whoever needs it. Again, that's the one thing that I learned. I thought my kids were gonna be taken care of, but now I know that not really. So it's like
but even
it's
if they're not fully taken care of, here's the thing that we as veterans have to really appreciate is that we still open up doors for them.
yes, yes,
As veterans and as service members, and especially those that are service connected disability, we do open doors both for our spouses, both
yeah,
for the service members. So in your case, let's not forget you also have the distinct honor of being a service connected disability, which is also an additional thing. So like when you're applying for jobs, they do ask like, hey, do you have disabilities, things of this nature, because they do get the government does give people
preferences.
preferences for those, which gives
Yeah.
them us credit, which also
So
makes them
that's
more inclined to hire us.
yeah. So that's what that was one of the reasons why whenever I had that meeting, they're like, well, look, the reason why they want any of these three what is it called? Identifiers for the
The
business.
identifiers, yeah.
Yeah, any of these three identifiers for the business is because they're trying to get the tax credit, and I don't blame them. Like this, the way she made it sound, it was like a big contract, and this is a big company. And like after she noticed that I didn't have none of those three identifiers, she's like, "Look, this is as much as I can tell you. We gotta stop the conversation right here," and that's it. Like I couldn't
Now it's time to get
move
on it
forward.
and get it fixed.
Yeah, so it's like when a big company like this is trying to make a big purchase for their company, when they're looking for a tax credit, that's gonna be a big opportunity. So don't be like me. Don't let opportunity like that. Let's go. Hey man, that might be. I'm not saying that that's gonna be the only opportunity that I'm gonna have, but it could have been. I don't
Well,
know.
it's still an opportunity. I'm a
Yeah,
firm believer that the mistakes that we make in our lives and in our career are only failures if we choose to not learn from them.
yeah,
So you're learning, um, and if you continue doing the same thing and expecting different results, but
yeah,
like, and honestly, failure and making mistakes, it's people don't need to be ashamed of it. When we were all NCOs, when we were all privates, we've all made mistakes, especially early in our career. Nobody's perfect. I don't care who you are. Um,
I was
so I
perfect.
say this. Yeah, okay. Perfectly round, maybe
Not
before
not
you
back in
got
the
bit.
day. Not back in the day, motherfucker.
All right, but all joking aside, we all make mistakes, and the thing is about learning from them. And if you learn from your mistakes, it's okay. And you're gonna fail at things. It doesn't mean you're bad or anything. It's you're gonna learn. That's failure is a great teacher. We need to embrace that we are
Oh
going to
yeah,
fail from time to time.
yeah.
And for you as well, like, but you also didn't know about this.
No,
Now
I
you
knew
do.
about it. No, I knew about
Okay,
it,
then
but
I can't help you there. I was
no,
trying
no,
to
but
throw you a
no,
bone.
no, but I knew about it, but I didn't know the company needed to be structured a different way
Right.
because and so in order for a veteran to be a veteran owned business, you cannot be a 50% shareholder. You gotta be a 51% shareholder.
Yeah, okay.
If
Makes
you're not
sense.
51, yeah, so that was one of the conversations that we had. I was like, hey, look, man, I'm not a 51% because that was the first question. Are you a 51% shareholder? I'm like, no. Well, you cannot be a veteran owned business. And I was like, all right, so, what can I do? Like, well, the structure of the company needs to change, needs to shift so you can be a 51% shareholder, so you can be a veteran owned business. So,
Hmm.
we got an LLC. So as I'm being an LLC, you gotta have a meeting, and it's where you can make your decisions. So this is it's easy for me. Like it's not gonna be a formal meeting. It's just a phone call. Mom, dad, and I.
And
So
I get it.
it's like it was no issue. My dad is like, hey, do what you gotta do. I don't care about numbers. So it's this information. If you don't know this, now you know. Get that veteran identifier. Also, minority business. It's two identifiers that I qualify for, and I don't even got one. So it's
It's time to get your shit
yeah,
together.
yeah. So
As an NCO to NCO, time to get your shit
yeah,
together, and you know it.
and then it's a lot of people always told me like right now that I talk about networking. Every person that I talk to, every organization that I talk to, like, hey, so what do you do? Man, I'm a uniform, I sell work uniforms. Oh, can you get this brand? Yes. Well, are you a better known business? No. Well, why you don't get that? Because if you do that, we can buy the uniforms from you. So everybody is like, hey, and then I got the same with the BFWs. It's like, oh, so you sell like the polos and everything, the stitching? Like, yeah, we can do that. It's like, oh, okay. So you have better known business? No. Well, we can't be doing business with you, right? I was like, damn. So, it's like that was like pushing me. Like, I like, man, you know what? I think it's time to shift gears. I might start learning a different approach to other companies because I'm a walk-in retail store,
Hmm.
but walk-in sometimes is not consistent. So money is up and down. The economy is bad, we're doing bad. The economy is good, we're doing good. But it's like, I cannot just depend on walk-ins. So now I need to get these identifiers added into my business and then go start chasing contracts. So it's like I
Okay.
have to, bro. Like,
I'm gonna be checking in on you, making sure
oh
you get this
no.
done.
So I'm telling you, that's why I called David Master Infante right away because I know he says, fuck you, Marine. I love that fucking guy because he's like, once I tell him something, I'm like, hey, bro, this is what happened. This is what I'm thinking about doing this year. And he's like, boom, send me this information. Let me call you right back. I send him the information. He asked me, boom, he like, hey, man, we can do that. This is the paperwork that we need. And he just fucking like quick, bro. Like, this guy is like, if you tell him, hey, I'm trying to do this, he's going to fucking jump on it right away. And then I call him today, like, hey man, what's going on with the appointment? I like Friday, 12:30. You're going over there, take the paperwork, and we can start the process. So it's good having somebody. Again, this is just veterans, man, talking to other veterans, and this is networking. This is how networking works. We started with one guy, then this guy appointment with this guy, then this guy appointment with this guy, and now we over here. So this
And
is
so
where this is where
to hold
we
me
want to go.
accountable, because I'm gonna hold you accountable to this. I need you to hold me accountable that
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna work to try to get my hands onto to working for either a politician as an internship and or working for the VFW, working in the legislative office. That's the kind of stuff I want to do.
And you know
So
what?
hold me
I
accountable too.
always no, I always picture you doing that because ever since we were younger, you've been involved into fucking politics. Not just that volunteering. I remember you used to volunteer for the fire department before you joined the
Oh
military.
my God,
Uh,
yeah.
bro, I'm telling you, bro. Like I've been to me, I thought you would be fucking running for senator, congressman, whatever. I see your eyes doing some shit like that. Like I already know. I already know. But
So
is
truth be
you've
told,
been
I'll say this: I don't. As I've gotten older and I know myself now, and I think that it's also the NCO in me. I don't want to be the face of an operation. I just want to be the guy that is actually
behind the
getting things
scenes.
done behind the
Yeah,
scenes. I want to be like maybe down the road, I don't know, a legislative director, public policy, things of this nature.
yeah.
So I when I was younger, yeah, I thought I was like maybe being a politician. No. As I've gotten older, I'm like, no, I just want to be the person that actually gets the things done. I do believe in civil service. I not just because I'm in the military, but like as you said, I used to volunteer at the fire department.
And you know where I
But
noticed that you were gonna be fucking doing shit like this is whenever you had to write your letter for your fire department telling them why you were not be able to longer volunteer because you were fucking bro. Look, this motherfucker is not my brother, but he's my brother. Like we've been knowing each other since fucking we were little kids, bro.
yeah,
And fucking like this guy, I remember went to San Antonio. We went to visit his family, and this guy over here fucking writing his fucking letter, fucking going back and forward. Hey, like man, I don't think I think I gotta have more. I gotta take less. And this guy was so fucking like trying to be perfect letter to turn in to his fucking post. I don't know what do they call fire agent
Live Oak.
post.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
yeah,
Live Oak Fire Department.
fire department. Yeah,
But I think it's like anything else though. You whatever you do, you've got to take it serious.
yeah.
Uh, I've taken the military serious. I've taken when I worked for the school district before I went on to the state active duty, which I'm still technically
I forgot about that
employed by the
too.
school. I still work
Yeah,
right now with the school district. When I did an internship with the city council back in San Antonio back in 2013. Um, but I think you take all those things and you got to be serious about it and you got to be respectful.
I remember
Your
Gilberto used
representation.
to. Gilberto would talk shit like, "Man, look at my boy trying to be a fucking politician out there," and I was like, "Cause you were fucking on it, bro. Like you were like fucking like, yeah." But your dad was always proud of fucking all the shit that you did
Yeah.
because he was every time he came down, like he would always talk about like, yep, he feels like he's a politician now, like and that was good, bro. And like I said, you're still going for it. Thank you for presenting this bill. Thank you for bringing this information, and like you know, all these other organizations trying to go to Congress, work on bills for us. Yeah, I see why the BFW needs new blood. But this new blood, like we are, like you say, we are out now, and now it's up to us to bring, this bill, so this attention to the new, you know, well, not at least it will make it easier for people transitioning
Well,
from.
so let's go through the last year and a half. Then let's use the VFW as one of the big proponents. And let me discuss. Also, I'm going to kind of sidewind this a little bit. Jon Stewart. I don't know if you're familiar with the comedian. He was big with the Daily Show, things of this nature. Uh, very very left leaning, but neither here nor there. But what's relevant to him is he was very big when it came to getting appropriation fundings for the firefighters that worked during September 11th and the emergency responders because they started dealing with a bunch of cancers and things of this nature from when September 11th happened. But he also put in a major passion project, Jon Stewart, helping out and shaming some politicians that were stopping a bill at one point, which was for us the burn pit registry and the expansion of benefits.
I don't know
And
what that
it's
is.
it, not really relevant here, but what's relevant is, the VFW played a big proponent in this because it's our people that are going to get sick from exposures to burn pits. And as we are older, we're now elders in the military and the military community. These other people are dying off, and we do need to take forth that those rungs, because if we don't participate and do these things, those benefits are eventually either going to be cut or they're going to go away altogether because we didn't fight for these things. And that's why we need to actively participate in these systems. And like I said, and it's pretty clear with what you just said. It's like, I didn't even realize about that about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I did. I also called my both state senators at that time because that's where the bill was having trouble with. I told them, like, hey, I want you all to pass this bill because it helps my people. So even if you think that your voice doesn't matter, participate in the system. These bills affect you, whether you're a service member, a nurse, whatever industry you're in. I strongly recommend that you pay attention to these bills. And it's not that hard. I mean, think about how much time you spend on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Just take 5-10 minutes, read the news, go look at these bills, and then do your research. I mean, I know that that's the painful part. Nobody wants to do their homework, but you got to do it because you know what? These things affect us in very, very serious ways.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking about appropriations, like with the especially, I'm going to press again, burn pits. There's cancers that we're discovering now that are linked to it. And we know probably in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be more cancers associated with these things. That's just how it goes. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that time just takes its time to figure this out. We're going to find these connections, and then these things are going to be added onto these bills, but they're not going to be added in if we don't put the support that we need to for it. And there's plenty of people that die, and then that's when we have to step up and start doing these things. We got to be better. We got to be more proactive. As you like to say, my politician side, I guess that's it. What I'm saying is you just get the reality is you've got to participate in this system.
Yeah.
These bills are out there in any industry that you're in, but we're mainly talking about the military and veterans community. So if you're in the military, you want to pay attention to the appropriation bills. You want to pay about the defense spending bills because it's your BAH that's going to either get increased or decreased. You're talking about your pay that's going to go up or go down. You're talking about new equipment. Let's be real. That's it. Also, base installation, housing, any number of issues you could discuss that have a key correlation within these things. And then if you're talking about veterans, like I said, we're talking about veteran benefits in the state of Texas. You have the Hazelwood Act. That could go away at any point if they didn't want to use it anymore. But if you and other veterans fight for it, that program is going to stay, or maybe a new one's going to happen. Or if you're talking about the federal benefits, like we were talking about earlier, post 9/11, and now it's the GI Bill forever. It's extended the time for allowing service members to use these benefits. These things don't happen just because nobody participated. That's because people actively participate. And here's the thing. As family members and as service members and as veterans, we're one of those few classes as a whole that are held with high respect and honor. So we need to maintain that, and we need to continue showing that. But because we have that, when we talk about our bills, we're taken a lot more serious because it does look negatively if we're not taking care of the veteran population or military service members. So you have a leg up compared to most fields out there. But those bills don't get passed if people don't figure out one, there's a problem. Two, these bills don't get drafted, and then they start lobbying. So again, lobbying has bad connotations, but it also has really good connotations because the VFW is a lobbying group. It has an arm, and its arm is to help get veterans of foreign wars additional benefits. So let's remember this, and let's take that into consideration, because the fact of the matter is, you don't even have to be a part of these groups or whatever. You can be as an individual and still go through and lobby for these things. And then that's just getting your community to participate. And this is one of the things that I really do appreciate that you do, Juan, is you do these talks. It may not be that it's the most amazing conversations of the world, but these
No,
are
but it's a lot of
discussions that
good
still need to be
information out
had.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's an opportunity to push out information. It's also an opportunity, more importantly, to give the opportunity for individuals to, see our perspectives and our stories.
Yes,
So
and it's like you say, if we don't look for the information, we're not gonna know. To me, before I actually went to a BFW, to me a BFW was just a place to drink and hang out with veterans. I didn't know anything behind the BFW because I always seen it like a bar for veterans, and that was it. But once I
yeah,
had this interview, it's like you learn more about the things that they're actually doing for other veterans. So it's like an eye opening. I'm like, damn, bro, like I'm an idiot. Like I didn't know any of this. Like because I never took the time on my life to, man, let's see what the BFW is all about. You know, it took me going to an event and took me sitting down with one of the representative of that post to get that information out. So it's
but
like,
I think that's the relevant piece is community.
yeah,
The military forces people, and this is the thing that I swear to God, and I still love the most about the military, is we're the one organization. You're going to get people from every walk of life, every religion, creed, nationality, gender, whatever. And you're going to put them all together, and then they're going to work together to make the mission happen.
yeah.
And there's days you're going to hate the people you work with, like me and Matt.
Oh,
We
it's
were
always like
roommates.
that. Yeah,
There was days that I was going to kill him, and he was going to kill me.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, one, we were family. Two, you're going to grow and you're going to develop, and you're going to build these relationships with people. And it's always great because it also gives you that opportunity to really appreciate different cultures, communities, and see different ways of thinking. So I think that's the lesson that I say that again. It kind of goes back to what you're saying is community. We are a community. It's not just about the drinking, partying, and telling all fun
yeah.
stories about what we did in our youth. It is, but it's also I think that again, kind of like in the military, and this is something you and I have spoken to on the outside. The things that hurt me the most as a service member, and the times that we've given and bled and died and lost friends for, is that some people waste their opportunities in life. We can't do
Yes,
that because we've made those sacrifices and we've seen those sacrifices.
yeah.
And we have to be better and we have to show better. So let's be these leaders out there. And that's one of the things I think I want to end this note on, at least on my side.
And I think I want to end the video just like this. That this is a good ending for the video. Uh,
Be
you
the
know,
leaders.
yeah. No, but again, man, I hope this information gets to you. I hope you look more into, what organizations are doing around you. More like not just this, but also what bills are getting passed for your state. And, like you say, be a voice. Be a voice for other veterans. Be a voice for active service members. And we don't look into it, we're not going to know. So, man, bro, thank you for giving me your time. I feel like this was a good live. And anything else before we go?
Well, one for you. If you have any questions about bills, feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to find out the answers. If I see any bills, you want me to push them out your way?
Yeah, push it my way, and we can put it like this one. Once we done, I'm gonna edit the. Well, no, I'm not. I'm really not gonna edit the video. I'm just gonna on the description. I'm gonna add the links that you sent me. That way people can
Right.
go in, and also
And
I
it,
think we gotta do. I'm trying to get all the information for the school too.
yeah.
So whatever we talk.
So, and then it doesn't matter. And I say this, all NCOs and officers know how to find information. So use Google. If you're in a different state, Google the Louisiana legislative process, things of this nature, or Minnesota, whatever the state you're in. You can Google these things. There's videos on it. You can watch and learn a little bit about the processes of these things. And of course, the same thing for the federal government. So use these things, learn how these processes work and how it affects you in the state that you're in. We were
Yep.
talking about Texas because we are in Texas.
Yep. That's
But not
right.
everybody that's listening here is listening in from Texas. So look at it from that. And
Yeah.
again, you all are leaders. Let's lead and let's make a better country, state, community. Better yet, community. Let's be those leaders we know how to be.
Well, bro, thank you for being over here, man. Everybody else, thank you for watching. And stay tuned for the next video, and hopefully I can get you more information. And make sure you check up on me because I gotta get the veteran owned business identifier on my LLC, and I gotta do what I preach, man. I can't be preaching without doing my part. So again, thank you for everybody